We are Marc, Amy, Juliette and Clement from the medieval Chateau de Rosieres. This Christmas we've made you a very special advent calendar. Every day from the 1st to the 25th of December we will open the door to a different room in the chateau and introduce you to its past, present and future. Merry Christmas. Today we're going to show you the oldest decorated room in the chateau.
This room was known in the past as the bishop's room or the monk's room. Apparently, until the 1950s, there used to be a large rosary hung on the wall. And it was probably because it was traditionally one of the rooms was reserved for prestigious guests. And they were often from the church, hence the name.
And what we love about this room most, I would say, what I love about the room the most is this beautiful painting on the ceiling. We haven't got that left anywhere else in the chateau, have we? But it kind of gives an impression of what it might have been like elsewhere, and it gives us a bit of inspiration for how we might decorate other rooms within the prestigious floors of the chateau.
This room is a mix of 18th and 19th century decoration. The floor is very traditional from Ardèche, from the area. It's made from regional woods, mostly walnut and maple.
I didn't know
that. Which bit?
What they were made from, the wool, or the fact that it was local.
Yeah.
The ceilings in here have this wonderful stenciling on them, and the style of the beams and the plafond de la Française is 18th century, but we suspect that the painting might have been 19th century because the silk fabrics on the walls look more like 19th century as well. And this is one of our big dilemmas, these walls, isn't it? We love the silk fabric in some ways and we want to keep the history of the room, but
they're a bit dusty and they have turned a bit grey because they never got washed over the years.
And they're not the most inspiring colour and pattern, are they, really?
No. It was, it's fleur de lis, which was, it was mostly a political symbol in the 19th century because there was a permanent fighting between the Republicans and the clerics, especially in the area. And so you would make
declare
a statement and by decorating your home.
That's so funny, the idea of walking around your house stamping your political party on the walls. I think that's brilliant. Actually, maybe it's not very brilliant. It probably started a few family arguments.
Plafond à la Française that Amy mentioned means French ceiling. It's a type of ceiling with narrow beams and gaps with about the same spacing as the width of the beam.
It's purely decorative, isn't it?
It is, yeah. And it's actually quite costly because it takes a lot of wood for the same surface of ceiling.
It's also an absolute nightmare to paint and clean. So although it's beautiful, your heart does sink a tiny bit when you see it.
You don't clean it
every day.
No,
that's fair enough. Well, pretty much ever. But, you know, if I were to clean it, it would be a bit of a nightmare. Hence the cobwebs. We won't film it too closely.
Luckily, dust falls.
Oh, yeah. Luckily, dust does fall. So, yeah, we have to clean underneath it. We actually have continued the tradition of using this as our prestige guest room, and we get a lot of people staying in here, so we've put some of our favourite decorations in. It's not the final decoration of the room by a long way, but one of our favourite bits is this tapestry.
This is a Belgian tapestry from Audenarde. That's probably, as far as I remember, 17th century. But I'm not a specialist and I don't really remember. It's called the verdure, which means greenery, which was a very popular way of decorating your home by bringing the outside in.
And what we love about it is there's all these weird, wonderful animals poking their heads out in the forest, and they all look a bit confused between different types of animals. I don't think the people who wove it actually had ever seen any of these animals, which is a bit odd because they're deer. But they look more like llamas. And the great thing about it being so packed with action is that every time you look at it, you see something different, like another little face peeping out of the woods somewhere or something. So this room is big enough to have a whole family in here. And so we've got the double bed that's very obvious, but we've also got a secret bed. Whoa!
So this chair is an 18th century travel bed. Because you imagine you would take this
in your carriage.
In your carriage. The feet are inside that you screw on the back of the chair. And
that is amazing.
lay it like this. And then you can have a rest on your chair.
So they would just take it out of the coach and put it under a tree somewhere for a little rest or something.
Exactly.
Yeah, I wouldn't put much
no,
weight on that.
No.
It'd be for somebody very dainty.
No,
This is one of your curios you got from an auction, isn't it?
What's really great about furnishing a chateau is that you can put furniture that wouldn't fit in a normal flat. So it's actually, you can put really interesting furniture that wouldn't fit anywhere else.
Yeah, we both lived in apartments before, so it's really nice to be able to run away with our imaginations here and go to auctions and find intriguing bargains. This is a very special acquisition. Marc bought it in the UK from an auction house even before we had children, and is it 16th century this one? 17th century, and we fixed it up so that we could use it for both kids. And they don't use it all the time, they don't sleep in it at night, but especially when I'm working, and she loves it particularly, maybe not now because she's a bit old, but I would put her in there for a nap and just rock her with my foot whilst I'm working. You may have seen this on, if you watch the TV show Chateau DIY, because we did the renovations of it on that.
One of our other acquisitions to furnish this bedroom is this beautiful wardrobe, which is not the style of the area. It is an Italian wardrobe, probably early 17th century. And what's really interesting about it is that it's one of the earliest type of wardrobes. Before the early 17th century, most of the house furnishing would be trunks and tables and quite basic furniture. And then cupboards appeared, and they were basically an evolution of cupboards. And what's notable about this one is mostly the position of the hinges, which are on the side rather than being at the front, which shows the descent from cupboards. And so when you open the wardrobe, the whole door comes out, leaving the box open. We actually didn't really need a wardrobe for here, but when we saw it, we couldn't resist.
We love this room and we decided not to mess with the symmetry of it and the history of it by putting an ensuite bathroom in, but it will be a major guest room. So we've got plans for putting a bathroom in the room next to it. And apart from that, I think we just need to deal with the electricity and work out what we're doing with the walls. And it's not so far off what it's ultimately going to look like, is it?
Mm-hmm.
We hope you enjoyed this latest room tour, and there'll be a new episode out tomorrow.